from day-to-day living. The thing I had up there is up in Gold Coast at a young age, like I was 19 years old trying to run a bit of I'd say a carpentry company more than a construction company because we were just doing minor projects. But the moment I needed to get other trades in, like, I was a nobody. I'd get shafted pretty easily. I had, a bad relationship with plumbers and sparkies up there. I couldn't meet good people to do business with. My biggest thing in business is I work a lot on trust. I meet people, hard handshakes, look people in the eye, do the right thing. And I just wasn't getting that appreciation back up in Gold Coast. So it was pretty quick, but, after one or two things went wrong up there, I was like, I need to, work out something else. So, came down, done a job in Melbourne, in Geelong, traveled over there, did a job over there with my old boss actually. And then, that veered into doing a couple of jobs around northern Victoria, southern New South Wales. And it, had a good experience with trades when I used people that I actually knew from my area, Albury-Wodonga, in the community. It was, you had to do the right thing because you couldn't get another job if you did. It was a small community, people knew each other, and, there was no shafting, or you had to do the right thing to, get somewhere. So it was a pretty quick decision after that. After doing a couple of jobs down here, I was still living up there. I ended up, packing my stuff and coming back home, and then got into the building of the shed straight away, and then needed a hand. So got a couple younger guys to help me, apprentices and stuff, and pretty well ventured from that. Started building sheds, doing concreting slabs. We're doing large projects too, all over Victoria and New South Wales, heading up to Sydney, doing a lot up in Griffith, Newcastle, Melbourne, down here a lot. Fair bit in Geelong, pretty well anywhere that we're getting jobs. A lot of travelling, yeah, but it was
that's like
at a young age.
Melbourne to Newcastle.
Yeah, it was. I'd dead set just drive from Queensland down to Melbourne for a job, straight up to Newcastle, straight over to Sydney.
Stay in Melbourne.
This is in the early days. This is when I was at 19, 20. Yeah.
He'd stay in Melbourne.
I was only renting a room back then. I didn't have any responsibilities or liabilities. I could just pack up and do whatever I want.
Just get up and take off.
Yeah.
Pack a bag. Yeah. Jump in the car.
Yeah. When you don't have that tie down for yourself, then you're able to make decisions real quick.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Back then, when you could get a room for rent for like $150. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they're exactly right. Yeah. Even if you stayed at a hotel, whatever it is, you can always find somewhere pretty accommodating.
Yeah.
And pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's excellent. Well, it's good that you had that experience to travel around, and now you've settled back down in Albury-Wodonga.
Yeah.
And that's your home base now? That's where your general operation's out of?
Yeah, it is. I have settled down. We do a fair bit of other work away, up in Griffith and, down here in Melbourne, not as much as what I'd like to, but, wherever I sort of get the jobs, do a little bit.
How far is it? What's the drive?
3 hours.
3 hours,
so
15 minutes.
Your boys don't mind travelling down if you want a job down here?
Nah, they'd go with a heartbeat.
Would they also...
Especially the bigger cities, try to get them away to Griffith or one of the smaller towns.
Not so much.
I want to get down here and wait for the weekend.
Well, do you pay for their accommodation whilst you're down?
Yeah,
whilst they're down here too? Yeah. So you'll factor that into your project too?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's it. Accommodation, food allowances, meal allowances.
Yeah.
Yeah, works out pretty good. Plus, when they're away, I let them, do 12, 14-hour days so they get the overtime, get, 60, 70-hour weeks in.
Yeah, well, they can smash the job out too.
Yeah.
So for us, we love that as a builder because we'd come in and be like, finish the job for us, move on, get on to the next thing.
It's all time.
Exactly right.
Yeah. You're holding up the next person.
You can.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
What was the biggest thing, I guess, so old country town values, right? Like you walk in, handshake, stare in the eye, and you can tell, okay, cool, this person's not going to go and do the wrong thing by me. I guess people in big cities can be a little bit more shady. Right, or they can probably get away with it a little bit easier because.
But you'll also get people like that, I think, in the country towns too. Do you know what I mean? I think you're still going to get that wherever you go, and I think unfortunately, gone are the days where you can do that anymore. I've got a client now, right? We signed a really big job up with him a few weeks back, and we're building his home, dream home. The guy's a gentleman, and he looked at me and said, "Same thing, George. I shake someone's hand. That's my word is my bond." And I genuinely feel that we could have built this job off of a handshake. Right? I genuinely believe that. And this is a $4.5 million home. So I go, yeah, cool, no worries. The fact of the matter remains, you still need a contract in place. And I think you don't need a contract until you need a contract. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, that's
true. You know what I mean? And it is good to have those rules in place for everyone to go, hey guys, this is what it's about, by the way, let's not fuck around. This is what we're doing. This is what it's about. So yeah, I find that as much as you would want to do a handshake agreement and just do it, you've got to really put it in black and white these days. It also sets the expectation versus reality. You always want to remove that, because even on a handshake agreement, it can still be like, well, I thought I was getting this. Oh no, we never discussed that.
Yeah, there's like
but I
a
thought
misalignment.
we were.
I was always working off handshakes up until about 12 months ago, and then get shafted a few times, especially when you're doing bigger jobs.
Yes, correct.
Be sharp, but saying that, like, I still do smaller jobs, anything from 10, 15 grand up to 50 grand. That would be very minor of what we do, and there's still jobs that we do over handshakes. In fact, I had one job the other week. This is worth about 20, 25k, and quoted up for him. Went through the scope of works, gave him a contract. I said, hey mate, like, this is your payment terms throughout the jobs and that. This guy just looked me straight in the eyes and just said, mate, I'm too busy. I can't be fucked with that shake. I can't be fucked with that. Here's a handshake. You're genuine. I can tell you are. Bang. What's the total? Bang. Money in the account. So now it's up to me.
He paid you up front.
Paid me up front. Yeah. I've had a couple of people do that actually.
Yeah, but so don't you want that?
What?
Like, isn't the contract to protect you against but I thought I was getting this and this and this as well.
You give him a scope of works. So then I emailed a scope of works with the receipt of the payment that he sent me. I said, hey mate, just confirming this is a receipt of the scope of works you gave me. Let's go ahead with it. I feel like that you'd have more to say about that, George.
I would never. Yeah, I don't care what the value of the work is.
Yeah.
It just removes anything, because as much as he's like, yeah, I'm too busy, and I'm busy too. I would love to do everything on it. If I could do everything on a handshake, you wouldn't see anyone employed in this office.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Correct.
No one would be working for me. What for?
Yeah.
I can just shake everyone's hand and get the job done.
Yeah.
I don't need to do contracts. I don't need to worry about anything. Whereas I've seen it happen too many times where, and even between a subcontractor and a builder, or a client and builder for sure, but even with subbies, we will put together a scope of work and then they'll go, whatever.
Didn't presume this was meant.
Yeah. This wasn't supposed to be this. This wasn't supposed to be that. No, it's there. I've written it in the contract. Like, we've written it in the scope of work. But also what it does is it helps get accurate pricing too. Because when I send a scope of works to the contract, let's say it's to a carpenter, I'll tell him, you need to allow for the timber paneling ceiling on the ceiling. Whereas he might look at it and just do frame lock up fix and not worry about that. He thinks, I thought that was specialized. I thought someone else was doing it. So then that way you get proper apples for apples comparison when you're tendering it out and getting multiple prices coming through. But also, I just hate that conversation when someone comes up to me and says, I didn't do this.
Yeah.
Or I didn't allow for this. And I'm like, well, it's not because I hate the uncomfortableness of it. It's wasting time. Now I have to go, okay, well, fuck, let's open up the drawings. Let's open up the scope of works. Let's get it priced up. Let's negotiate. And then it has that flow and effect. Like, I've got a subby that he did some work for us, and he just kept putting variation after variation after variation. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Okay, he goes, never allowed for that. We never allowed for that. We never allowed for that. I said, hang on, like, this whole process isn't about you going, this is what I haven't allowed for. No, I need to know what shortfalls there are, because that is a risk.
Somebody
for
reading
business.
off plans that they're going off, and they're just
absolutely.
This isn't stated on
It's not necessarily that. It is, look, some of the stuff were genuine to come up, but there was also a lot of things that they didn't have to put their hand out for. Like, they were just he was very quick.
He was just adding in extras.
Well, it wasn't extras. Like, I'll pull people up on it. I know what things cost. And he's just very quick to send me a variation for something. And I was like, mate, he goes, my supervisor had to do this for 2 hours. Here's, $250. I'm like, mate, it's not worth me the time it's going to take me to write you a variation to send this through. Stop sending through stupid shit. Your contract's worth $800,000 and you're sending me a $250 variation.
Yeah.
Like, this is stupid. It is stupid, but the guys do that.
Yeah.
And that puts me off, even though it's only $250, it doesn't break the bank either way.
Do you feel
But little things like that, it's just time consuming. Like, as I said, I've said it in previous episodes, I'm massive on my time now. And when that happens, you're wasting my time. Even if it's not directly me, you're wasting the time of the guys I'm paying to do that. So this is where that process, I think, needs to be in place, where it's a really clear line in the sand. This is what I'm doing. This is what it's for.
Yeah.
And still deliver on your product and your promise and everything you're saying. But I believe in this day and age, you're crazy not to.
Yeah.
Crazy not to. And this guy that's so busy, even if you got everything ready for him and all he had to do was sign, that's how you do it. So look, that's, mate, understand you're a busy man. Let me take care of it.
Yeah.
You get all the documentation, just sign here.
Yeah.
And then we get started.
Yeah. This is pretty easy scope of works, but this could only be like a little change room.
Yeah.
A little.
And he paid you up front, did you say?
Yeah, got paid
so
up
look,
front.
that's
been a couple
in
different
that
jobs recently.
instance when they pay up. Most people don't pay up front, especially in our industry. They want to see the job done and then pay.
I want to see the job done now. I've paid people up front for things and been shafted.
Exactly.
Myself.
Exactly. This is what I mean. So you're going the other way. This is what I'm saying. Overall, this process of let's call it a process of shaking hands. That's cost you more money.
Yeah,
than
it does.
It's cost you money that you should never have lost. Whereas if you had a proper arrangement
on the other side, though, not for me, I haven't let anybody down. If I'm a very
that's
hard
right.
man to my word. If I handshake and bang, all right, I'm doing this for you.
You'll do it. But let's just say we do that, right? And then but you're still leaving it open for interpretation. Because I might come in, we shake hands, and you say, hey, I need you to build me a deck. And you build the deck and it looks amazing. And I'm like, oh, when are you sanding? When are you painting it? And you're like, oh, I don't do that. I said, are you serious, man? For 25 grand, you're not painting it. I had this other guy that was going to paint it for 25 grand. That's why I thought you were doing that. It's like, no, I sent you the scope of works. Yeah, man, I'm fucking too busy to read that. You know what I mean? That's what happens.
Yeah.
But that's what happens. And as much as we both had good intentions, one party then leaves feeling a little bit shitty.
Yeah,
Oh,
even if you
man,
get away,
worry.
even if you get away with it, it still leaves a bad taste.
All right, how much is it going to paint? How much is it going to cost me to paint? You go, $2.5 grand. Fuck, all right, here. And you still might be happy at the end of the day, but that process there he'll remember that, and maybe next time he doesn't call you, he calls the other guy.
Yeah,
and not out of spite or anything. You would have done a great deck. You would have looked amazing, and you probably painted it really well. But then it's like, oh, all right, well, I might go to the other guy now because he'll include that. So, as I said, I'm always a big believer these days that you just got to have everything in writing, everything above board, no verbal conversations. Like even when we're building as well for our clients, I've literally got it in my contracts. We don't accept verbal conversations. If you tell my site manager, hey, I want a new light in this room, or can you put 3 extra downlights in this room, but you don't put it in writing to the office, to the relevant person.
That's a good point.
If it gets missed.
I just had a bit of a problem with that with a project we've just done. I told Luke this, I told Luke that. Luke's too bloody busy. That's what's
right.
happening.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened with with me and one of my guys, Steve.
I literally just cop that within the last few days dealing that problem out.
Yeah. And again, you're probably in the right. You just say, well, I don't have any record of this. I'm not going to pay for it.
Yeah.
And then they'll be shitty, and then they'll have to pay you $750 to get that light put in or whatever it might be. And then there's that disconnect. And then that's where the rapport starts to be chipped away, because every client is always amazing at the beginning of the job. Everyone's happy. They're excited. Let's go. Can't wait. You're amazing. Can't wait to build with you. And then you go through that process, especially if they've never been through it before, because building isn't a stress-free project. Yeah.
Too many moving parts.
Yeah, there's so many, and we can deal with it, right? Like the guys always come into my office, like, oh, they've got a problem. I've got this, and whatever. What is it? Oh, it's this. Okay, just do it like that. Oh, it's going to cost $500. I'm like, you walking into my office and talking to me for more than 3 minutes is costing me $500. All right, just fucking get it done.
Yeah.
We can handle that because we do it day in, day out. Whereas a client, when they have to come up with this problem, oh, the door's in the wrong spot. Oh my God, you've ruined my room. The feng shui is not going to work anymore.
My whole lights room.
My fan. Oh, this is embarrassing. I have to go left instead of right. Oh my God. Oh, just knock a couple studs out, put the door in the right spot. Problem solved.
Easy, yeah.
But for them, it's a stressful process. So that's the thing with construction. And when you can help nurture and guide them and show them that, no, this is the process that we've got to go through. This is how we do everything. You'll find you get a much better quality client. And they tend to be a little bit happier at the end of the job.
It is. I believe construction is a very difficult game to be in.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click just over here. Or if you want to watch the full episode, you can click over here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.